All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this broadcast. Let's take 2 minutes to honor those who lost their life during demonstration. Yes, back to our political discussion. Daily Nation, the ones we lost. The ones we lost, we can see their faces. And Rek Masai, I can recall, we were with him in the previous demonstration. May his soul rest in peace. Then there's something essential written down below. CS Murkomen must lead a process where the government pays compensation to the families who lost loved ones last year and apologizes. This is very important. Actually, very important, and we request, not demanding, the government to compensate the family who lost their beloved one, and may their soul rest in peace. Then the same Daily Nation, families seem to gather in Kakamega to remember friends and relatives of the late Caroline Shiramba gathered to all prayers at spot where she was fatally shot during the GENZ'S protest last year, placing candles at the site in Kakamega town. People are coming out in large numbers to confirm to the current head of state, you killed our own sons and daughters in your government administration. But as much as they were shot dead, we must recognize them and remember them, because they fought for this country and they were not even after destruction of this nation, but they were acting as the future leaders who are supposed to be listened to. Their voices are still being remembered, whatever they were saying during demonstration. However, how sad was it? But today they are nowhere to be seen. Not because it was their wish, not really, but because we had some rogue police officers who used live bullet and took away the life of vulnerable Kenyans whose names have been mentioned in the Daily Nation newspaper. Not all police officers. But how can we live as Kenyans, brothers and sisters, in that when people demonstrate, we don't exercise force to shoot innocent Kenyans? We must now think of this and change this country. It is all about understanding one another before we make this country turn into pieces, rather than coming up with a conclusion of our own as Kenyans community. But if we are not keen, then we are going to destroy this country if we are not keen. Today we mourn with the family lost their life. Today we cry, today we demonstrate. But the fact remains that there is no hope. Hope will only come if people storm the street. Because this government is not bothered. I saw more comment holding hands with people in the street, waking up very early in the morning. The energy he has used today is the same energy he's supposed to use to train the police officers how to use bullet. He's supposed to ensure that these people are compensated. But do we kill for our sons and daughters or family to be compensated? Not really making sense. It is upon the police officers to protect and allow Kenyans to demonstrate and give out their grievances. Because after all, each and every person people's consultation are always sought in decision making. So that is what we lack, and we must now put it on a serious note. The facts remain, we must think on how this country must change. So that is what I went through today, daily newspaper, as the names and faces are still fresh in our mind. We honor them, and it was all about that. So this country, we must change and come up with a conclusion. To the president, it is upon you to change and coming up with something which Kenyans will say, indeed, you've listened to her voice, rather than keeping quiet and still torturing Kenyans' mind. This movement might not favor you at all. I rest my case at this point.